Happy New Year, everyone. No doubt many of you went to a shrine or temple last week for your first visit of the new year. Inspired by this tradition, I started my own annual ritual a few years ago. Instead of visiting just one shrine, I travel on foot to several shrines in Matsue, recreating a pilgrimage that I hear was once popular during the Edo period. Starting at Kumano Taisha and finishing at Iya Shrine, with stops at 4 other shrines along the way, the pilgrimage is about a 20-kilometer walk through some of my most beloved sections of the city that allows plenty of time for reflecting on the year that has passed and contemplating goals for the upcoming year. I usually undertake the journey during the first week of January. However, I opted to do it a month earlier this year. So, on a cold morning a few weeks ago, I found myself at Kumano Taisha shortly after dawn. The shrine was empty, and it was quite peaceful as I walked around and prayed. Heading towards my next destination, Kamose Shrine, I followed the course of the Iu River along farming roads. These narrow paved paths that provide better access to the rice fields are one of the joys of traveling Japan on foot. They offer a much more serene walking experience than major roads with their steady stream of passing cars. Plus, I always delight in the little creatures that inhabit the fields and the birds that prey on them, as well as the flowers that grow along the fringes. Several different flowers were still in bloom during my walk last month, including a lovely batch of pink wood sorrels that made me linger despite the chilly weather. Fortunately, the temperature became more comfortable as I neared Obacho. After making my rounds at Kamose Shrine, I followed the Haniwa Road to my next stop, Yaki Shrine. The path features replicas of the eponymous terracotta clay figures alongside and skirts the edge of rice fields before entering a forest. I used to work in the area, so I often walked along this path. However, I rarely saw other people, which is a pity because it's such a pleasant place for a stroll. Enclosed by the trees, you feel far removed from the city. The only human sounds are usually the muffled cries of teams practicing at the nearby high school. On the day I did the pilgrimage last month, a few splashes of autumn leaves still stubbornly held out on the trees, lending a touch of color to the predominantly brown and green landscape. After Yaigaki, the pilgrimage route continues onto the O Plain to reach Manai Shrine and Rokusho Shrine. This area may be my favorite place in Matsue to go for a walk. It certainly has a lot to offer. Besides the 2 shrines, the O Plain features plenty of remnants of ancient history, including burial mounds from the Kofun period, as well as several sites of ruins from the Nara and Heian periods. Further, the vast expanse of open fields with a spectacular view of Daisen off in the distance is so different from the hilly, forested terrain where I grew up in the United States. Standing on the wide plain with its crisscrossing paths and views stretching to the horizon always fills me with a sense of freedom and possibility, almost as if I could keep on walking forever. There have been many days when I've been tempted to continue trudging all the way to Daisen. After crossing over to the other side of Route 9, the area becomes more developed as the pilgrimage enters the home stretch to Iya Shrine. By this point, my legs are usually quite sore and my energy is sagging. However, My mind is abuzz with thoughts of the adventures I have planned for the upcoming year. Arriving at the shrine, I offer a final prayer for my loved ones for the new year. As we begin 2024, I wish you all good health and good fortune as well, dear readers. May the months ahead stretch before you like the O plain, full of potential and widen horizons.